Hi, welcome to House of Vanity. I'm Kayleigh. I'm joined today by Courtney Smith from Absolutely Ascot, and we're here today to recreate this perfect date night look ready for Valentine's Day. Continue watching to find out how we created it. So we've prepped Courtney's skin, she's got no makeup on. We're going to start with the brows as we always do. She's got a great brow shape, so not too much work here. We're just going to start by brushing the brow through. And then just anywhere we see any small gaps, we're just going to fill that in. And we're using the NYX Espresso pencil, it's a micro pencil, so it creates really nice fine brush hairs. So just using micro strokes and just filling in any lighter areas. What's your kind of go-to makeup look?
I love a full glam. Every day, all day, every day. I love a full, there's nothing better, is there?
No, I always start off like, oh, I'm just going to do a little bit of something today, and then I end up with like, right,
and I'm a major winged eyeliner fan as well. Oh, I'm crazy for wings. I start off like, no, I'm just going to have a little bit of eyeshadow. I'm not even going to have eyeliner. And then I get halfway through, I'm like, no, forget it. What's the point? I'm sitting here doing it anyway. Might as well go for the full glam.
Yeah. Perfect. So once I'm happy with the brows, I'm going to move on to the eyeshadow base. Again, we're going to use the P. Louise eyeshadow base primer for this. This, as anyone that's watched any of the videos will know, is our go-to primer base, and because Courtney is a little bit browner, we can use a darker colour on her, so I'm going to go for number 4. Today's tutorial has been sponsored by Nema brush. These are a really lovely brush range. They've got a brush for absolutely everything you do on the face, and then this beautiful green colour, and I pretty much use Nema brush for absolutely every makeup look I do. So we're just going to mix this P. Louise base together with the Emma brush from Nema. And you just want to keep patting either side of the brush to create a really lovely circle shape. So we're going to start under the brow. We're going to start with a flat brush, so the biggest side of the brush just straight down. I'm going to carve out underneath the brows. And then when you come back in, just turn the brush and bring it back along the lash line. Do you always get your makeup done when you're filming? Or do you do it yourself?
Sometimes I like to do it myself. Depends what sort of event you're filming. If you're doing a night event, I like to get it done, but through the day you want something that looks not so heavy.
Yeah. When you're happy with the shape you've created, just go back over that base and just pat it. And just repeat the same on the other side, so under the outer edge of the brow. Then taking your Nema brush in Bella, it's a really nice buffing brush. I use this for all of my eyeshadow looks. This is a great one for transition shades, but I'm also going to use it just to buff out the edges of any of the primer, so we're not left with any harsh edges. So we're going to create a really nice glam day look. And we are going to use the Huda Beauty Nude palette, which is great for creating quite a lot of different looks. And we're also going to use the Too Faced Pretty Rich palette, which is a brand new palette out. It's got a really nice selection of colours, blues, browns, gold, silver, so you've got something in there for everything. I feel like these colours are amazing on you. So we are going to stick to like this kind of row for what I've said is a day look, but you know. Got to have a bit of glitter in there. So we're going to go with It's Cashmere for the transition shade, and then Don't Carrot at All and Oh That's Rich for this look. So going in with a clean bell brush and just keeping the brush really nice and straight, all my products right on the top, going into the socket line and just tapping that product on. So So when I've applied the kind of colour payoff I'm looking for, I'm going to use the same brush to just start working the product out. Okay, so I'm just going to start using small circular motions. Don't want to take it out too far, but we do want to blow it out a little bit. So Courtney's got like a really great eye for makeup, so you can blow this colour out pretty much up to the brow. I always leave this edge on the outer, probably 2/3 of the brow, but you can bring it right up to the front section of the brow just to really open the eye out. Okay, so when I'm happy with my transition shade, I'm happy with how that looks, so then I move on to my next colour. And I bring my brush down to still a buffing brush, but just a slightly different size. So this is the next size down from Nema brush, and it's called Donna. And it's got a really nice point to it, so it's really going to get into that crease line and really define the eye much better. And then we're going to go in with Oh That's Rich, which is a warm brown, almost like a purple tone to it. Starting in the centre. What would you say your favourite palette is?
At the minute, I think it would be, do you know the Sultry palette by Anastasia?
Oh yeah.
Because I love like bronze colours and stuff like that. I think it's very got hazel eyes, like dark hair.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to be trying like different stuff out. Because I always go like, right, I'll do something different. And then it's like, no, just go safe, go with what you know.
Just get stuck in the same routine.
I definitely think practice makes perfect though with makeup. You have got to keep practicing.
And I'm just holding above her brow. I'm not really moving her eye shape. I'm just holding the eye still. So if I was to do it like this, her skin would completely be moving. And if I was holding it here, I'd change her eye shape. So I'm just holding the inside corner of her brow when I'm working on her eye. So again, we're focusing on the blend above everything we're doing. This bit here on the lid at the moment doesn't really matter. It's that outside corner. So we're going back in with our bell brush. And we're just working out that edge of the darker brown. What do you enjoy most about filming?
I think you just got to have a laugh with it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy just having the chat, the laugh, and getting it all out there, what you want to say.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going back in with the P. Louise eyeshadow base. And we're going to use more of the 0.5 than the 4 this time, just to give us a really nice blank canvas for carving that crease out. I'm just coming in along the lash line, then turning my brush up to its curve. Okay, and then going in with my Becca brush from Nema, and it's like a dome shaped brush, but it's a flat head, so it's going to collect quite a lot of product. And then we're going to take Don't Carrot at All from the Pretty Rich palette. Working that product into the inner corner. And I'm just working that product only a third of the way out of the eye. Then going into my Huda Beauty palette, which is the nude palette. And these shades are really nice because they blend together to create a really lovely tone. And this is like a rose goldy gold. So I'm going to continue that colour on the lid out with this one. And taking that up in all the remaining shadow base, which is the central third of the eye. I'm just layering that pigment up to bring out the rose gold effect in that. Okay, and going back in with my Donna brush with That's So Rich over the edge. And then bringing our dark back in to get rid of any harsh lines. Then we're going to take our NYX Epic Pen Liner in black, and this is actually waterproof as well, so it's perfect for any flick liner. So I work on the outside wing to start off with, and I start working the pen across the eyelid. Then when I get to the centre, I turn it towards me and start bringing it back. And open for me, and just look down this way. By getting her to look towards me, it just really stretches that inner corner of the eye out, so then I can really smooth that line. Just want to follow just with the joint of the eye. The lashes we are using today are the Kitty Lash in Pixie. They're a really lovely fluffy lash. They're a bit shorter than Snowbell, which is what I normally use in my tutorials, but I love this one because it gives a bit more of a day look, but it's still quite a full look. So I'll just get you to look down for me. You just want to measure up the eye. So I can see I need to take just the last little bit off. I'm just going to go in with my Morphe black liner, which is in Dark Room. I like to do this while there's nothing on underneath the eye. And then taking the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. It's the best mascara that I've used. I like that it doesn't really transfer once it's on, and it really helps to blend the lashes into your natural lashes. So your lashes, once you've applied your mascara, will be ready to go. Just give them a little wiggle to get them ready to go around the eye shape. So just wiggle the lash into the lash line. And I always start with the outside corner. Just open for me. Just blink a few times. Feel okay? Not poking?
I think a major tip for eyelashes, what I find as well is, like, usually I think like push it on, it goes on, but do you know the less you push, I feel like the easier it sticks.
And the less likely you are to make your own eye water, which I think quite often what happens. And also, if you're doing this on yourself, just looking down into a mirror so you can see the join from a downwards angle is better. Again, just starting on the outside, really softly placing it. The reason I get my clients to just blink a few times is that if the lash is catching in the corner, that's what's going to cause irritation, and again, going to ruin everything that you do from here on out. And then I just take my mascara one that I used previously. I don't add any extra product. I just work the lashes into each other. Okay, so for my first step on the base, I'm using Glam Glow Glow Starter, and this is in the Nude Glow. This is a really beautiful moisturiser. It's got highlighting pigment in it already, so it's going to cut out half of the work. So I'm just popping this on with the Nema brush called CJ.
Is this for like all skin types as well?
Yeah, so it's really good. Like you said, you had oily skin, so it's still going to add a glow without adding too much oil to the skin.
That's what I get scared of with having oily skin. Like a lot of like moisturisers, you've got to be careful you don't want to look too shiny.
Yeah, exactly.
You still want to look highlighted.
Yeah. This adds a really nice glow without adding too much oil, like you'll feel yourself. And also, I'm going to be using the NARS foundation, which is really great for the same thing.
That's my whole go-to. Is it Radiance?
Yeah.
Oh, that is actually my go-to foundation. I love that.
So as you can see, that really adds an amazing glow to Courtney's skin and just gets her ready for her foundation. But we can't stop there with the glow, so we're going to add some of the iconic highlighting drops. And this is in Original. This is a really beautiful gold. I'm just going to add that to the high points of her face, which I would normally highlight anyway. And I pop this under foundation purely because as the day goes on, these come through underneath foundation and just make the skin look amazing. Is it this one you use, or the Sheer Glow, or this one?
Do you know, I did use Sheer Glow for a little bit, but I think I've been using this for about a week.
Yeah.
So it's really, really nice coverage, and it's not too like heavy on your face.
It's really buildable.
What's more coverage, sheer glow or?
Sheer glow is a more fuller coverage. However, this is more buildable, so I'm going to be using the NARS Longwear Radiance Foundation, and I've mixed two colours. One is Barcelona and one is Syracuse, and I always match my client up and then deepen the colour with bronzers. And again, I'm using the CJ brush, and I'm going to buff that out with the Tara brush. Just using like straight motions. So I go between backwards and forth motions and then tapping. And that helps to set the product into the skin. What would you say is the biggest makeup mistake you've made previously?
Do you know what? It's gonna have to be too much under my eyebrow, like, do you know, like my base concealer?
Yeah.
Because did you say that one was a primer concealer?
Yeah.
So like I used to use like a full coverage concealer, like under my eyebrow, and I used to look back and I had these like white lines.
So, for under eyes, I'm going in with the Laura Mercier in 1C and 1N. These are quite light, but we want that quite highlighted and contour look. I'm popping 1C into the inside corner, and that's more of a pinky tone, so it's going to cancel out any darkness that might be in there. So we're just going to buff in all the concealer we've popped on, and this is just going to start to add some dimension to the face, because we're going to be running a slightly lighter product through the foundation. Just work it into the foundation, so you don't want to have any harsh edges. And this helps to set the foundation too, so, and the concealer with the tapping. So you just want to do that until you got arm ache.
Beat it all on your face.
Yeah. Going back in with my Blaheen brush from Nema Brush with my medium coloured MAC mineralised skin powder, and going under the eyes and just tapping that in. Then going in with my trusty bronzer combo. This is the Chanel bronzer, and that is in Soleil Tan de Chanel. And this is the MAC Medium Deep Mineralised Skin Finish. They work perfectly together. One creates a really nice glowy bronze and the other one creates a beautiful contour. So taking my Andy brush, which is a curved angled blusher brush, but we're going to use it for bronzer today, just giving that a really good swirl round in there. So you want to start at the top and just work it through. And it's a really lovely product because it's really buildable. So even though Courtney is slightly darker than it would work on me, obviously it would show up quite quickly, but you can really build it. And then just go in with the same brush, build up that product on there. Just turn your head for me. And then I start on this one in the cheekbone, just working right under the cheekbone. And rather than working towards the outer corner of the lip, which some people do, I work towards the inner corner of the nose so that the client doesn't look too sucked in, rather than like a really gaunt contour. And then I like to bring it around the temples just so that it's not like really cut off and sectioned. So you're almost doing like a figure of 3. And then just make sure that you're coming down the nose as well. Now the whole face is set with a powder, I'm going to go in and do the under eyes and finish that off. And we're going to do that with 3 brushes, all of which again are Nema. One is Becca, one is Ollie, and one is Belle. So we're starting off with Belle, which is the biggest of the 3, and that's going to bring our transition shade underneath the eyes. So the first colour we started with, which is Back to It's Cashmere in the Pretty Rich palette. We'll start in the centre and just work it out. Okay. And then taking our Ollie brush, which is a really tight tip brush, so you'll be able to apply quite localized product with that. I'm going to go in and I'm going to take, oh that's rich, and I'm going to meet the black liner with that. Okay, and then we're going to go back in with our Becca brush, which we used for our gold, and I am going to use the Charmed colour that we went in with last, and a little bit of Don't Carrot at All, and just look up for me. And I'm going to go between our transition shade and our darkest shade. And I just go back in with my It's Cashmere brush and just make sure that there's not too low and everything's nice and blended. Then taking my Ali brush, which is a pen tip brush, I'm going to wet this, and you can use any priming spray to do that. Just spray a bit on there, and then take from my highlighter, which is the Oh Darling by MAC. I'm just going to take that into the inner corner. Just work it out along the bottom lash line to really open the eye up. And then going back in with your mascara and doing the bottom lashes. So then moving on to our highlighter, we're going to use the Harley brush, which is a nice fluffy brush, and we're going to use the Laura Mercier Indiscretion highlighter, just taking that round the cheekbones, down the bridge of the nose. Across the top of the lip and over the chin, a little bit above the brows. I like to use two highlighters, so I use Indiscretion and I use Oh Darling by MAC. I just run a bit of this over the collarbones and over the shoulders. Oh Darling by MAC is a much goldier colour, which is the one we use on the inner corner. So I don't use as much of this, but I just feel like it adds a bit of dimension to use the two. I'm not a fan of this really like brilliant white highlighter. I like to keep it quite soft. Should add a glow to the face rather than a stripe. And then finishing the face with my Peaches and Cream PC04 brush and my Makeup Revolutions palette, and this one is the Hot Spice palette. Hot Spice?
Hot and spicy.
And these are a really nice peach colour, so I'm taking these three here, just mixing them all up.
I love a peach tone blush as well.
Yeah, I feel like on a
favourite.
bronzier client, peach is perfect. And then I take my powder brush and just work over the edges of the blush so they're not too harsh. Finishing off the look, we are going to use the Whirl Lip Liner by MAC, the Whirl Lipstick from MAC, and also this beautiful Anastasia Beverly Hills in Vintage Lip Gloss. So taking the lip liner by MAC in Whirl, we're going to go to the Cupid's bow first. So next I'm going to use the Whirl Lipstick by MAC. This is a palette I've just decanted all of my MAC lipsticks into. And then I'm just going to top that lip off with Vintage by Anastasia Beverly Hills, which is a beautiful gloss. So then to finish off the look, I'm going to be adding the Skin Perfecting Liquid by Becca in Prosecco Pop. Really make the skin glow. Just working over. And to finish the makeup look and set it, we're going to use a Luminous Dewy Skin Mist by Tatcha, which is a spray. Just pop a few pumps out first before you apply to the client's face.
scary bit.
Yeah. And there we have it, our finished look for a perfect date night look.